Hi, this is Hui Wan. Welcome to Cloud Access Security Broker CASB Fundamentals. In the last video, we understand that no matter what service mode you're going to use, the security of identity and access management and data protection is the responsibility of cloud customers, not the service provider. In this video, we're going to digress a little bit to talk about the overall security landscape. Why do we need this topic? Because talking about corporate IT security is not recommended to jump directly into the details like how to populate the directory, whether we should use two-factor or three-factor authentication, or where to store the private key and which ports to be blocked, etc. Technology serves the purpose. Technology should not driving security management. So to apply technology properly, we should first have an overall picture of the risk management results and identify the risk, assess the risk, and using technology to mitigate the risk. So in this video, we're going to introduce two frameworks that have pretty much comprehensive coverage of security landscape, and then we'll know how CASB fits into the landscape. The first framework to be introduced here is the ISC Security Domains. ISC is Information Security Consortium, is an organization that defines 8 security domains to cover all aspects of corporate management and governance, from management strategy perspective, from engineering and technology perspective, and from day-to-day operations perspective. Let's rush through the domains one by one and to see whether CASB is involved in each of the domains, or how is it involved. The first domain is security and risk management. This is the fundamental and actually the leading domains that provides the strategy to be followed by the rest of the domains, because talking about security, we should start with risk assessment, identify the risk, assess the risks, and use technology to mitigate the risks. The risk assessment should be based on the business layout, on the management structure, the communication map, and for sure the data flow diagram. And with reference to that, we'll come up with your threat map, and corresponding to the threat map, the company will decide which technology to be used to mitigate the threats. So this is not directly involved with CASB, but definitely provides the management and strategy leading the CASB implementation. The second domain is asset security. Asset includes both physical assets and data assets. Since data protection is one of the key security responsibilities of company as a customer, definitely CASB has a lot to do in this domain. And third domain is security architecture and engineering. The architecture here is not what we commonly understand as the technology stack hierarchy. It's more abstract and with math algorithm involved, and cryptography there. So again, that provides some foundations of security design theory, but not very much involved, have CASB directly involved in this domain. And the fourth one, communication and network security, for sure, CASB has a lot to do in here. And identity and access management, one of the key fundamental security responsibilities to cover in cloud computing scenario, regardless of the service mode. So CASB will be heavily involved in this domain. And the security assessment and testing, this is actually very much corresponding to the security and risk management, because from there, the security planning is there and the design is implemented by the other domains, and assessment and testing is in place to verify if the designed security strategy and the implementation actually meet the designed purpose. So this domain is basically in answering the security planning part. We would more likely to place that as management perspective. And the same applies to security operation. So this day-to-day operation team, and one of the key focus with security operation is the business continuity and disaster recovery to ensure that an incident would not totally block the entire business flow. And again, this one is more related to management or operation. The last domain here is software development security. There's a lot to do here, but CASB might not be directly involved because this one is heavily related to application development. There is another organization, OWASP. You may have heard of that. OWASP publish top 10 application security threats on an annual basis. And for many years consecutively, SQL injection was sitting on the top one. And in the past recent years, cloud-related threats are sitting on the top list. So again, take a look back. We'll say that security and risk management, operations and assessment are the domains very much related with management and operation. And CASB has a key role to play in asset security and communication, identity, and not very much on the application because the application is with the development. But these three key areas are what CASB is going to address. Another framework we're going to introduce is CSA Security Categories. CSA's Cloud Security Alliance is another organization for security industry, unlike ISC², which has a broader coverage across all security, and CSA is focused on cloud computing, cloud security. The service categories listed here has a comprehensive coverage of security concerns in cloud computing. Again, let's rush it one by one to see how CASB is involved, either served the purpose or used the technology as a basis for CASB implementation. The first one is identity and access management. For sure, CASB will provide protection on identity and access. And CASB also provides email protection, email security, and the same as web security. Network security, CASB does not directly provide network security, but network security communication is the basis, provided the technology basis for CASB implementation. Intrusion management can be addressed by CASB's threat protection. And the security assessment, not as we mentioned in ISC² a security assessment domain, this one seems more related to management to ensure, to verify that the security design are implemented and are really effective. Data loss protection is a key part in CASB. And the SIEM, security incident and event management, is a technology that's going to be used in CASB to provide intelligence by analyzing the logs and other reported or collected security information and come up with a solution. So this is like network security provides the foundation technology for CASB. And business continuity and disaster recovery is more involved in management and operation domain. And encryption will be very heavily used by CASB. So overall, CASB provided or serves the purpose of some of the categories, while the other categories provides the technology basis for CASB's implementation. So with that, we can see that CASB is not something new, it's nothing unique, nothing new, it's not a new threat, it's not a new technology. And it's not a silver bullet that can solve all security problems. CASB is a collection of existing technologies that can be used to fill the gap that are identified in cloud computing and cloud service for the customers. In this video, we learned how to use the two frameworks to have a holistic view of a security landscape, and also we now know how CASB fits into the overall picture. Starting the next video, we're going to talk about one of CASB's key functions, visibility. Until then, goodbye.